Hello students, welcome you all in the world of homeopathic pharmacy. My name is Dr. Bhakti Khisti. In today's lecture I am going to explain you about the phosology. As you all know that this is my second lecture of phosology. In the previous lecture I had already explained you some points like etymology of phosology, the definition of phosology, the different concept regarding the dose in allopathic way, in homeopathic way, the selection of potency. Okay, in selection of potency we had seen some points which have to be considered like age, sex, habit, constitution, temperament, etc., etc. Okay, now in this lecture I am going to explain you about the remaining part of the phosology. Phosology. We had already seen about some points in last lecture. In this lecture we are going to study about remaining points, that is the various kinds of doses, the repetition of doses, and about the single medicine in detail. First, the various kinds of doses. We are starting with the maximum dose. See students, there are 10 to 11 different kind of the doses. Okay, to remember them all you have to go through your books, you have to go through these lecture 3 to 4 times at least, then you can able to remember all these types of doses, their proper meaning, exact what you have to return in that. Okay, first one is maximum dose. It is the maximum or largest possible quantity of medicine not harmful to the human life which can be taken at a time by an individual. See, this is the maximum quantity of any medicine which you can take. It is not harmful for the patient. Okay, maximum dose means maximum quantity of that medicine. Next one is lethal or fatal dose. Lethal or fatal dose, it is also called as toxicological and narcotic dose also. That has been, it is also known as toxicological and narcotic. It is the dose that has been recorded as a fatal to healthy person. Okay, it is the quantity of any medicine which when you prescribe to the patient it is harmful for that patient, it is fatal, and it will leads to death of patient also. Okay, next one is minimum lethal dose. It is the smallest dose that has been recorded as a fatal to the healthy person. See, the toxicity of any medicine is depend on the toxicity of any medicine is different. Okay, so some medicines are very toxic, so when you are prescribed that dose in a small quantity, they are fatal to the person, they are harmful to the person. Okay, if toxicity is low, then you can prescribe in a high dose. If the toxicity is very high, then small dose can be the lethal dose. Okay, so it is called as the minimal lethal dose. Next one is booster dose, a subsequent dose given to enhance the action of the initial dose. See, if you are prescribing a medicine in specific potency, the patient is feeling good but not so much better. So in that case you have to prescribe same remedy or sometimes some other remedy to boost, to enhance, to increase the power of first dose. Okay, so it is just you are giving second dose to increase the power of the first dose which you had given to the patient. It is called as booster dose. Okay, so here what we had seen, the maximum dose, the large quantity of any medicine but it is not harmful to the patient. Lethal or fatal dose, they are harmful. Minimal lethal dose, when toxicity of these medicines are very high, so if you are giving in small dose, it also lethal or fatal for the patient. Next one is booster dose. Okay, booster dose we give to enhance, to increase the action of the first dose or initial dose. Next one is the fractional dose. It is the fraction of full dose which taken at short interval. Okay, means fractional dose means you are giving a dose which are divided into fraction and you have to take it by the fraction. Okay, you are dividing one dose into 3 doses or 4 doses and you have to take all these 4 doses by short interval. Okay, it is called as the fractional dose. Next one is physical dose. Physical dose are those which stimulate the normal physiology of any specific organ. Hence, the symptoms thus appearing are known as the physical symptoms. See, you are giving a physical dose to the person to maintain or to regulate the normal physiology of that organ. So, the symptom which appear in that patient, it is also called as the physiological symptom. Next one is infinitesimal. Okay, infinitesimal is very small. It is again divided as below the Avogadro's number and beyond the Avogadro's number. See, Avogadro's number means these are numbers which give you the quantity of atoms and molecule in any substance. As you know that atoms and molecules are very fine, they are very small, so the infinitesimal dose are also very small. Okay, next one is average dose. See, average dose, it is prescriber's adjusted dose according to the requirement of the patient. Means prescriber, a physician, adjusts this dose according to the requirement of patient. If you are having two patients in your OPD, both are feeling so much pain in their knees or pain in the teeth, one is diabetic and one is non-diabetic. Okay, so you have to prescribe the dose according to their requirements. Okay, it is called as the average dose. Okay, so here we had seen about the fractional dose. One dose which is fractional means it is cut in 2 to 3 small doses and you have to take that by maintaining the short intervals. Okay, fraction of the doses. Next one is physiological dose, then infinitesimal dose which is very small, and the average dose. Next one is single dose. It means that one dose should be given in a day. Okay, in one day, how much quantity of that medicine you have to take, it is called as a single dose. Okay, you have to take this one time in day. Daily dose. Okay, it is the total amount to be given in a day. In a full day, how much quantity of medicine you are taking, it is called as the daily dose of that patient. Okay, single dose means in one dose. Okay, and daily dose means dose which you are giving in one day. Next one is total dose. It means the total amount to be given in a day which should not be exceeded. Means should not be exceeded means more than the requirement. Okay, जितना आपको बोला है उतने ही क्वांटिटी में मेडिसिन लेना है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लेना है. सो एक दिन में आपको या जो ट्रीटमेंट है उसमें जितना डोज आपको बोला है उतना ही डोज आपको लेना है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लेना है. ओके, शुड नॉट बी एक्सीडेड मीन्स उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लेना है. सो इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज द टोटल डोज. Next one is minimum dose. It is that dose which is sufficient to overpower and annihilate the disease and capable of producing slight homeopathic aggravation observable after its ingestion. We are going to see minimum dose in detail. Okay, minimum dose, it is the small quantity which is sufficient to overpower and annihilate the disease and capable of producing slight homeopathic aggravation which is observable. Okay, this is all about the types of doses. Now next one is evolution of concept of the minimum dose. See students, what do you mean by the minimum dose? Okay, see, when you feel sick, okay, your vital force is deranged because of some disease force. Okay, your vital force is weak and the disease force is quite powerful than your vital force. That's why you are feeling sick. When you prescribe medicine in a minimum dose, that medicine just provides some power. It increases the power of your vital force to fight against the disease force. Okay, so when we administer the minimum dose to the patient, then it increase the power of vital dose to fight against that disease force. Okay, so minimum dose has so much importance in the it is very important to know you about the minimum dose while you are practicing the homeopathy. Okay, so single dose you have to write in detail if asked in for the short note, but your day to day practice also you have to know about its advantage, its disadvantage, and why we are giving, why we start any medicine from the minimum dose. Okay, so minimum dose just enhance the power of vital force, increase the power of vital force to fight against the disease force. Okay, that's why we are using the minimum dose. See the evolution of concept of minimum dose from year 1786 to 1830. See students, if you can able to remember exactly what happened in which year, means what happened in 1786, what happened in 1796, you can write it. But if you are confused or if you don't know what exactly happened in that year, please don't write the wrong things. Okay, just mention from 1786 to 1830. Now next is the reason behind the application of the minimum dose. See, there are some disadvantages of using large dose, some advantages of using minimum dose. In homeopathy, use of minute dose has certain advantages. On the other hand, application of large dose has some disadvantages. So here in the we are going to study about the disadvantages of using large dose. There are another two subheading in that, that is too large a dose of homeopathic medicine is injurious, and next one is it produces the violent medicinal disease. So first, a too large a dose of homeopathic medicine is injurious. Why? Too strong a dose of medicine, though quite homeopathic, in spite of its remedial nature, will produce an injury effect by its magnitude. If you are giving a medicine which is belonging to the homeopathic medicines, which is homeopathic in their nature, but if you are giving in too large dose, it is definitely going to harm your patient. Next one, medicine even homeopathically suited to the case of disease does harm in every dose that is too large. See, if you are giving medicine which is perfectly suited to that patient, but if you are giving in a large dose, it is harmful for that patient. Number 3, it does much more injury as an equally large doses of allopathic medicine that is unhomeopathic and in no respect adapted to the morbid state. If you are giving unnecessarily large dose, it is harmful for that patient as allopathic medicine does. Okay, so you have to give, you have to at least start from the minimum dose. Okay, next one is it produces the violent medicinal disease. Too large doses of an accurately chosen homeopathic medicine, and especially when frequently repeated, bring about much trouble as a rule. They often put the patient in danger of life, make the disease almost incurable. The patient will no longer suffer from the original disease which had been homeopathically cured, yet he will have a suffer from the excessively violent medicinal disease which is most difficult to destroy. See students, too large a dose, okay, why it is harmful to the patient. First point, if you are selecting the medicine which is from the homeopathy, okay, you are selecting the homeopathic medicine, but you are prescribing in a large dose, it is harmful for that patient. Second one is, if you are giving the medicine which is perfectly suited to that patient, okay, but you are giving in large dose, it is harmful for that patient. And third one, if you are giving large dose frequently, it is harmful for that patient just as if you are giving the allopathic medicines to that patient. Okay, तीन पॉइंट आते हैं इसमें अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा लार्ज डोज पेशेंट को देते हो। एक तो पहला है, अगर आप होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन ही दे रहे हो लेकिन लार्ज डोज में दे रहे हो तो वो आप हार्मफुल है। सेकेंड वन, अगर आप होम्योपैथिक मेडिसिन जो है प्रॉपर केस टेकिंग लेकर ऐसा मेडिसिन आपने चूज़ किया है जो उस पेशेंट को परफेक्टली सूट हो रहा है, लेकिन अगर आप वो लार्ज डोज में दे रहे हो तो वो हार्मफुल होता है। और थर्ड वन, लार्ज डोज अगर आप बहुत रिपीट कर रहे हो पेशेंट को, तो जिस तरह से एलोपैथिक मेडिसिन हार्मफुल होते हैं लार्ज डोज देने के बाद, उसी तरह से होम्योपैथिक दवाइयाँ भी जो है वो एक्ट करती है। तो हमेशा जो है टू लार्ज डोज जो है, ज़्यादा लार्ज क्वांटिटी पोटेंसी आप लोगों को अवॉइड करनी है। ओके, नेक्स्ट वन उन्होंने दिया है, इट प्रोड्यूसेस द मेडिसिनल डिसीज। सो व्हाट इज़ मेडिसिनल डिसीज? जब आप पेशेंट को फ्रिक्वेंटली लार्ज डोज देते हो तो जो है, जो आपका ओरिजिनल डिसीज़ है वो चला जाता है, और जो सिम्टम्स आपको आते हैं वो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट लार्ज डोज ऑफ मेडिसिन। सो इट इज़ द मेडिसिनल डिसीज़। ओके, सो आप अगर फ्रिक्वेंटली टू लार्ज डोसेस पेशेंट को देते हो तो पेशेंट का ओरिजिनल डिसीज चला जाता है, मेडिसिनल डिसीज जो है उसके सिम्टम्स आते हैं, एंड दैट सिम्टम्स आर इनक्यूरेबल। ओके, उसको कोई भी ठीक नहीं कर सकता है। ओके, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट जो उसमें था, it is harmful for that patient and it may leads to the death of that patient also. Okay, so in disadvantages of large doses we are see 3 points in two large dose, and two or 3 points you can write in the medicinal produces the medicinal violent medicinal disease. Okay, are you getting me? I hope you are getting me. Next one is the advantages of the minimum dose. See students, in the case of advantage of minimum dose, why it is means why it gives the advantage, when you are prescribing a minimum dose it will just enhance the power of your vital force. It shows homeopathic aggravation but which is very mild. Okay, so it is not harmful for the patient. Next thing, when you are prescribing a minimum dose and if it is a wrong medicine, okay, हो सकता है कि एक आध बार आपका मेडिसिन जो है वो चूज़ करने के लिए गलती हो गई हो, आप गलत मेडिसिन दे रहे हो, लेकिन अगर आप वो मिनिमम डोज में दे रहे हो तो पेशेंट को ज़्यादा तकलीफ नहीं होती है। ओके, इट इज़ नॉट हार्मफुल फॉर पेशेंट इफ़ you are giving the wrong medicine in a minimum potency. Okay, next thing, minimum potency, a minimum dose does not lead for any kind of addiction, it does not damage your any organ. Okay, such kind of all sorts of the advantages in given in your textbook also, but main you just grasp, you just know the concept of the minimum dose. Okay, कि हमको मिनिमम डोज क्यों देना है पेशेंट को. ओके, देन यू कैन ऑल्सो राइट ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स. ओके, द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज, see, I'm telling you about some advantages of minimum doses. By applying minimum dose, it unwanted aggravation can be avoided. Then to take the full advantage of finer and finest curative property of the remedy, they should be administered in a minimum dose. More the dose is reduced to degree of minuteness appropriate for a gentle remedial effect. In order to maintain the similarity of sequence of the disease, the drug minimum dose is suitable. See, the similarity of the sequence of the disease means पेशेंट में जो सिम्टम्स आए हैं डिसीज़ की वजह से वो धीरे धीरे कम होते जा रहे हैं, तो एक सीक्वेंस में वो सिम्टम्स कम होते जाते हैं. तो बीइंग अ फिजिशियन आपको जो है वो ऑब्जर्व करने में बहुत आसानी होती है कि मिनिमम डोज देने के बाद कौन से सिम्टम धीरे धीरे पेशेंट के कम हो रहे हैं या कौन से सिम्टम्स पेशेंट में आ रहे हैं. ओके, सी, मैक्सिमम टाइम्स कुछ अस्थमेटिक पेशेंट ऐसे होते हैं कि जिनको स्किन इरप्शंस होते हैं, वो स्किन इरप्शन वो कुछ ऑइंटमेंट या क्रीम लगाकर उसको सेपरेट करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से बाद में उन्हें अस्थमा की तकलीफ़ शुरू हो जाती है. जब आप उनको मेडिसिन देते हो धीरे धीरे उनकी अस्थमा की तकलीफ़ कम होती है, लेकिन ऐसा होता है कि वो जो स्किन इरप्शन जो पहले उन्होंने सेपरेट कर दिए थे वो वापस स्किन पर आ जाते हैं. तो आप जब मिनिमम डोज देते हो तो ये हर एक सिम्टम आप स्टडी कर सकते हो. Okay, so these are some reasons behind the application of the minimum dose. Next one is the repetition of doses. It is also called as the pharmacopolexic or medicament repetition. There are three conditions when we require means for the repetition of doses. First one is similimum. Similimum means the exactly the medicine which is exactly match to the patient, the situation of that patient. So the correct selected remedy, it is called as the similimum. Minimum dose, the small quantity of dose, and repetition means when you have to repeat the dose. Okay, see student, it is main thing to choose the remedy. Okay, but next thing is selection of potency, and next thing is the repetition of dose. आप मेडिसिन सिलेक्ट कर लोगे, आप पेशेंट को जो है प्रॉपर पोटेंसी में दे भी दोगे, लेकिन मेडिसिन देने एक बार आप पहला डोज देने के बाद आपको कब रिपीट करना है, रिपीटेशन किस बेस पर करना है, ये पता होना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. ओके, सो रिपीटेशन ऑफ डोज इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. In homeopathy, the selection of proper medicine is probably the most essential thing that matters. But after the remedy has been selected and administered in a proper potency, the physician should be able to watch out for, understand, and interpret the remedy reaction, and should know the proper period for repetition of dose. Factors responsible for repetition of dose. First one is condition and progress of the patient. Second one is nature of disease, and third one is nature of remedy. Okay, all these headings are again subdivided. Okay, so we start with the condition and progress of the patient. See, first one, perceptible and continued progress of improvement contraindicate the repetition. See, contraindicate the repetition means repetition नहीं करना है. कब? perceptible and continued progress of improvement. ओके, अगर पेशेंट आपको बोल रहा है कि नहीं मुझ में अभी इम्प्रूवमेंट हो रहा है, मुझे ठीक लग रहा है, तो आपको तुरंत उसको मेडिसिन रिपीट नहीं करना है. नेक्स्ट वन, रिपीट द डोज ओनली व्हेन इम्प्रूवमेंट सीज. ओके, जब पहला डोज आपने दिया है उसका जो इम्प्रूवमेंट है वो कभी ख़त्म हो रहा है ऐसा आपको लग रहा है, द एक्शन ऑफ फर्स्ट डोज विच इज़ गिवन बाय यू, द एक्शन ऑफ दैट डोज इज़ नाउ फिनिश्ड, देन यू हैव टू रिपीट द डोज. जो डोज पहले दिया था उसकी एक्शन पूरी ख़त्म हो जाने दीजिए, इम्प्रूवमेंट जो है वो रुक रही है, अगर आपको ऐसा लग रहा है तो आपको पेशेंट को डोज रिपीट करना है. थर्ड वन इज रिपीटेशन मे बी कंटिन्यूड till either recovery issues or different group of symptom arises and thus demands the different remedy. यहाँ पर दो कंडीशन है, एक तो अगर पेशेंट पूरी तरह से ठीक हो जाए, रिकवरी इश्यूज मीन्स पूरी तरह से पेशेंट ठीक हो गया. नेक्स्ट, डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ सिम्टम. ओके, आप मेडिसिन दे रहे हो और पेशेंट के अंदर अगर कोई दूसरे ही सिम्टम्स आपको दिख रहे हैं, इसका मतलब है आपका मेडिसिन गलत है. उस वक्त आपको जो है रेमेडी रिपीट करनी है और पेशेंट को जो है जो पहला मेडिसिन था वो स्टॉप करना है, दूसरा मेडिसिन आपको स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो द रिपीटेशन में बी कंटिन्यूड टिल आइदर रिकवरी इश्यूज और डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ अनवांटेड सिम्टम्स अराइजेज एंड दस डिमांड्स द डिफरेंट रेमेडी. Now next one is the nature of disease. See, we all know we studied about the acute disease and chronic diseases. Okay, in your textbook they are given according to the 5th edition how we can prescribe the medicine in case of the acute disease. In 6th edition how we can prescribe the medicine for the acute diseases, same like chronic disease. But you have to write only one, write according to the 5th edition or write according to 6th edition. Okay, in case of the acute and chronic diseases. So in general, in case of the acute diseases, in acute diseases every 2, 3, 4 or 6 hours interval may be repeated by you have to repeat the dose after 2, 3, 4 or 6 hours. In very urgent case, medicine may be repeated every hour and oftener. Oftener means you can repeat the dose after the interval of 15 minutes, 20 minutes also. In case of the chronic diseases, there is again two subheadings, that is recent chronic disease and old chronic disease. So in case of the recent chronic disease, okay, see students, in recent chronic disease, I had already told you in last lecture, in case of the primary manifestation of psora, syphilis, psychosis, we can prescribe the higher potency. Okay, so in case of the recent chronic disease, you can prescribe the high potency. In case of old chronic disease, okay, in case of old chronic disease, when there is tremendous changes in the organs, some organs are damaged, you can prescribe the higher potency once in a day for a 1 month. Okay, just to regulate the normal functioning of that organ. Okay, in case of the old chronic diseases, higher and higher potencies of medicine may be continued so long as the patient experiences the continued improvement without encountering one or another complaint that he never had before in his life. Okay, if new symptoms appear, then another homeopathically related medicine must be chosen in place of the last and administered in a same repeated dose, modifying the solution of every dose with through the vigorous succession, thus changing its degree of potency and increase somewhat. Okay, so in case of old chronic diseases, you have to prescribe large dose for daily, once means once in a day for a 1 month. You can prescribe it for long period also. If you are feeling that medicine is wrong, you can prescribe the another remedy, but it is also in the higher potency. Okay, first one is recent chronic diseases, means the primary manifestation of the psora, syphilis, psychosis. Yes, you can prescribe the higher potency. In case of the old chronic disease, whether there are so many changes in the organs, okay, the vital force is completely exhausted, yes, you can give the high or highest potency once in a day for 1 month or more than that also. Okay, next thing is nature of remedy. See the nature of remedy, it is, there are 3 points in nature of remedy: potency, duration of action, medicine having alternating action. In potency, the medicine in lower potency, we can frequently repeat it. In case of the higher potency, don't repeat it again, means frequently, don't repeat it frequently. Okay, in case of the higher potency. In case of duration of action, the medicine obtained from elements, compounds, mineral and nosodes who have the longer duration of action, so don't repeat it frequently. Okay, in that case it is deep acting remedy, don't repeat it frequently. In case of short acting remedy, which we prepared from the animal source, vegetable source, the action is short, action is very short, so we can repeat it frequently. Then the next is medicine having the alternating action. There are some medicines which produce two opposite states alternating with each other in human health. These altering opposite states are produced by primary action of medicine. This action of producing two opposite states in the primary action of medicine is termed as alternating action of medicine. Example: Ignatia, Bryonia, Rustox, and sometime you can give the Belladonna. Okay, so the alternating actions means the two opposite actions of the drug. Next one is the single medicine. Okay, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann clearly stated about the application of single medicine at a time in Organon of Medicine in section 272, 273 and 274. Here also, if you can able to remember what is written in which section exactly, you can definitely write it. But if you are confused, don't write the wrong thing, you just write, you mention that to section 272, 273 and 274. Now, reason for applying only single simple medicine substance at a time. See students, what is the importance of the single medicine? Okay, there are two types. in do's or don't do's. First one is the polypharmacy, and next one is the monopharmacy, which is single medicine. Okay, while you are studying monopharmacy, you are prescribing only one drug. If the patient is not satisfied with that medicine, you can easily change the medicine, you can easily change the potency, you can easily change the medicine if unwanted symptoms are coming appearing in that patient. Okay, so when unwanted symptoms are appearing and you know which medicine you are giving, you can just antidote that medicine, you can change the medicine. But if you are practicing polypharmacy, you are giving 2 to 3 medicines at a time to the patient, and if patient is come back to you and tell you that he is not well with that medicine, then it is very much hard to know which medicine is acting where. Okay, which medicine is disturbing that vital force or disturbing the person. Okay, so you cannot change the remedy in that case, and it is very hard to know which medicine is acting where. Okay, only the basic concept is that it is given in so many points in a book in different way. Okay, why the polypharmacy is not acceptable, and why the one medicine, single medicine, is acceptable in the homeopathy. You go through the book, there are so many points, but the basic thing which I am going to tell you, that if you are giving polypharmacy, in case of polypharmacy, the dilutions or the combination which is available in the market, they include the high potency of each medicine. Okay, and if you are giving 3 to 4 remedies in the higher potency, it will create some problem for the patient. Sometimes the patient feel absolutely okay, but sometimes patient feel uncomfortable, or some adverse effect patient shows you. In that case, it is very hard to know about the that medicine which is feeling harmful to the patient. Okay, so and when you are giving a single medicine, you know what is the action of that medicine, see in how many days you have to repeat that medicine, which potency you are giving, you know everything about that. Okay, so prefer the monopharmacy, just prescribe one drug at a time. Okay, so this is all about the posology, homeopathic posology. Okay, I hope you can able to understand. I know this topic is very lengthy. Okay, you just go through 2 to 3 times, read it again and again, see this lecture also. Okay, then you can able to write each and everything properly, and you can able to know about the exact way how to prescribe the potency. Okay, what is the dose, how you have to prescribe the dose, when you have to repeat the dose, all these basic concepts which you have to know in your day to day practice. Okay, so go through this topic. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.